gentlemen, get ready for Talkamania.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another wild and crazy week at Talkamania. I'm your host, Desmino, here with my left nut, J-Bomb. Say hi, J-Bomb.
I'm the left nut again, eh?
I liked it.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Damn!
You're my left nut.
Yeah, how's it going, man?
Pretty wild and crazy week.
Yeah.
A lot going on at work. My brother's getting married on the weekend. Exciting.
Sweet.
Yeah, and next week I should find out if I have a job or not.
Ooh.
Yeah. So yeah, basically the company I'm working at got bought out by a competing company. So that's the way the world works. It's economics, folks. And yeah, it is what it is. I'll survive. But yeah, busy, stressful times, and that's it. But on to more important matters, or I guess more distracting from life's real problem matters. Lots been going on in the wrestling world. We're walking out of Survivor Series. Overall, I figure it was an okay pay-per-view. It was all right. The main event made no sense in many ways. I thought the main event kind of spoiled everything for me. And we'll get into that in a moment. And then lots to go into with both Raw and SmackDown, returns, call-ups, debuts, confusing storylines, a whole shebang, and we'll get right into that shortly. But before we do, make sure to follow us on Twitter @_Talkamania, subscribe on YouTube, and check out our website, www.talkamania.com. We're also actively recruiting anybody who's interested in writing for us, join the team. So let us know, hit us up, and be part of the Talkamania family.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. All right, so let's jump right into it. So what we're going to do is we're going to skim through the Survivor Series results. We won't spend too much time on non-noteworthy matches or matches that are pretty straightforward. And maybe we'll spend a little bit of time here or there talking about specifics. But we won't spend too much time on it. We've done our Survivor Series show. You guys hopefully have watched it now. If you're a wrestling fan, you'll know the results. So we won't spend too much time. It's more or less the takeaways.
Yes, sir.
All right, so myself, I turned it on. And it was really early. They had the Kalisto and Enzo Amore matchup. We have Enzo Amore retaining the Cruiserweight title. And I guess that's leading into something larger, or I'm not quite certain. But will Kalisto be the number one contender again moving forward yet again? I don't know. I think it's time for a change. But again, outside of that, Enzo using his Enzo ways to win the match, retain the title. Not much more needed to be said.
Not really. I didn't even watch it. 205 Live on the kickoff show.
I PVR fast-forwarded the Elias Matt Hardy match because I really...
Elias and Matt Hardy fought?
Yeah. On the pre-card.
Shit.
Because I feel really bad for Matt Hardy, so it was painful for me to watch this. The guy, they brought him in. They had such a chance with this guy. He should be probably honestly, he could have feuded with The Miz, took the IC title, and been rolling with it. And, at the very least. And I just feel like they're wasting the opportunity. But at the same time, I know they're dealing with the whole broken thing. I believe Matt Hardy's in the middle of his legal issues. And there's 30 days for it to be...
it's voided.
Yeah,
I read that article too.
Days. Yeah. So I think there's this chance that Matt Hardy might actually get the character and the rights in the next few weeks. Which you see him teasing it more and more. But, every week I'm like, I see Matt Hardy teases broken Matt Hardy in a promo. And I'm like, dude, he's been doing that since he came back. So I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, I'm kind of over it, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I feel like even when it comes, I don't know how they're going to intertwine it with all the crazy storylines they have. Well, crazy storylines, which is with all the main event storylines going on. I don't see a place for it. So
unless they wait for
we'll
when
see.
Jeff comes back and they do it together. But, obviously broken Matt Hardy was more of a singles wrestler. But yeah, like you said, we'll see. But even Matt Hardy though, you pointed this out, and I went back and watched it, and I had to laugh, man. He's very frail moving. He was
broken.
Yeah. He was fighting with Elias again, and he's just kind of the way he's moving around. It's very stiff, and maybe he was sore or something. But the guy's probably taking a beating over his career as well.
Yeah, well, pre-card, didn't even know what happened.
Well,
Poor Matt Hardy. Hopefully one day it gets better.
Did you know Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn actually did appear on the pre-card?
Yeah, no, that's when I turned it on. I saw that. I was like, it was cool to see him against Fashion Police because I like the Fashion Police too. Well, straight up match, I guess you can say.
Well, it's funny because I was mentioning last week that I hope they left off the card. It would be insulting to be put in the pre-card. It'd be better to be off the card completely than to be put in the pre-card. And they were put in the pre-card, so.
Yeah, for some reason, I mean, compared to the other two matches on the pre-card, to see Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens versus Fashion Police, it's kind of a little bit of a treat.
Well, yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't mind.
Was cool.
I don't mind Owens and Zayn, and I was happy to see Breezango wrestle again. It's been like ages, so obviously they jogged big time, but still fun to see them out there. Yeah, it was all right. Not too bad.
Yep.
Outside that, we had the Shield taking on New Day. Obviously, straightforward. We knew the Shield was going to win, and the Shield won. I'm trying to think of this match now and think about how good it was. And
it wasn't that good.
I think it was decent. I think it was right.
It was honestly, it's like every match on this entire Survivor Series card. There was nothing super memorable about it. I mean, AJ and Brock was great. That's pretty much it. Everything else was kind of like, it was good. It was decent, but I don't know. It's nothing we've never seen before. Put it that way.
If we look at the actual Survivor Series matches, there was so much confusion for me in these things. So if you look at the women's match, Becky Lynch is the captain, and she gets rolled up almost immediately and eliminated.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like the burial of Becky Lynch.
Oh, I know. It seems to be like that's what they like to do to her. I get this whole having somebody rolled up quickly out of nowhere to make it more predictable, and I kind of
that could have happened Final Four. Or...
Yeah, exactly. I kind of like it, but I mean, you want to see Becky wrestle just a little bit. I felt like it was a little bit of disrespectfulness towards her. And then you had the same thing happen to Alicia Fox a little bit later, but it was confusing because she had her shoulder up, but the ref told her to get out of the ring.
That was a botch.
So I'm not sure what was supposed to happen there. It seemed like they were continuing to wrestle, but then she got out of the ring quickly after.
It's like she was supposed to go out and she accidentally kicked out, and the ref was like, probably had it in his ear, so he's probably just get the hell out of here.
And then Bayley getting eliminated by Tamina's splash, and oh my god, I'm sorry, I don't know. I thought Tamina really she's so out of shape, and not just so out of shape. They're putting bigger clothing on her. They put black clothing on her. They put baggy clothing. They put jackets on her just to hide her weight. And why don't either make her do cardio and lose some weight? And I'm not going to be saying she should lose some weight. I'm not knocking on her body size, but she looks out of shape. And I think when you wrestle, you need to be in shape. And I don't know. I just
every time we talk about Tamina, this is what we talk about. Her and Nia Jax had a decent run in the match, though.
Yeah,
I'll give them that.
Well, at least they protected Nia Jax by having her counted out. Obviously, they don't want to hurt her too much, so it's good to see that they're still kind of rolling with her.
Which is really predictable.
Yeah. But then obviously, you see Asuka come in and kind of dismantle everybody. I thought that kick to Carmella's head was really, really nice. Pretty much looked like she killed her. Then ends up taking out Tamina, and then ends up taking out Natalya. And as we expected, Asuka won the match for her team.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was predictable. That's pretty much it.
One that wasn't as predictable, I think we both had The Miz over Baron Corbin, didn't we?
Yeah, we both had The Miz over Baron. Yeah.
So, Baron Corbin ended up winning. And I guess maybe it has to do with The Miz going to film a movie. It kind of gives more to Baron Corbin. But at the same time, it's a pretty big win for Baron Corbin. I guess good for him or whatever. But it was an okay match, better than I thought it was going to be. But again, nothing spectacular.
It was good because Maurice was there.
Yeah, I guess
that's the best part of the match.
She didn't slap her.
She cut her hair too.
Yeah, well,
yeah. So
I didn't notice, but I guess you watch enough divas that you know.
Oh fuck! It was like a mom cut.
Really, it was short,
to her shoulders.
Really?
Yeah, it was really short. Yeah. Yeah, same. I mean, I don't really remember how the match ended. I know it was like a quick finish, kind of out of nowhere, but
hit the
whatever.
end of the day. He grabbed hit the end of days. And then we go into the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos against Cesaro and Sheamus. This is a good match. Again, Usos going over. I thought the bar might take it, but I guess the WWE really is that high on the Usos. And yeah, you got to give them props. They are definitely, if not the best tag team running right now.
Yeah, I got him at number one.
In terms of entertainment and value and like tag team wrestling, and they really stepped up on the mic. And I think a lot of their stuff is lame on the mic, but I also think it's miles better than they used to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so they're okay. They're better than most, and they're good in the ring. They're entertaining. They dive out the ring and tag and in the midair and stuff. That was pretty cool. I like them, and I like the match. Pretty good. I just thought Sheamus might get a win with Triple H, booking. But no, cool. I'm down. Go ahead.
No, that's it. I'm in agreement.
Cool. And then we have Charlotte Flair inevitably winning against Alexa Bliss by submission. I don't know. The match was actually a lot less awkward than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be really outmatched, and I guess Alexa Bliss kind of made some convincing offense at some points, but obviously it was going to happen. And then we saw after the show, she was walking down. They wanted to interview her, and she felt like really depressed, and she didn't want to say anything. And then we saw this week, she comes out as her usual spiel, but I kind of sense like they may be turning her face. I'm not exactly sure. But we'll get into that shortly once we get out of the Survivor Series and move on to the NXT call-ups.
What I liked about Charlotte and Bliss was that they actually gave them the time. They had quite a long match. Usually, they rush those.
Not in pay-per-views, I would say, though. But
sometimes. It was the second women's match of the night, other than the
but I find like on
Series.
pay-per-views, unless it's a pre-card match, on pay-per-views they usually give them a decent amount of time. Yeah, they should, unless it's like, but if you have Raw or SmackDown, that's a different story. Like we see with like Natty and Charlotte, like those kind of matches when they're on Raw or SmackDown, they just aren't the same because that they're rushed. So
yeah, exactly.
And touching also on the match you said, AJ Styles, Brock Lesnar. Lots of people love this match. Lots of high praise for it. I thought it was a good match too, but I don't know, man. I initially wasn't happy with it. I thought Brock was a bit lazy during this match. I thought it was like all AJ Styles dancing around Brock. Brock throwing him around a little bit. I didn't think it was as good as people were making it out to be. But I would like to see the second rematch to see AJ beat him. I think AJ could beat him. But at the same time...
He ain't beating him before Roman, that's for sure.
No, I guess not. Well, the thing is, who's he going to wrestle at Royal Rumble now? Because I know it was supposed to be Finn Balor, and now the rumor is that they're going away from that direction because they don't think Balor's over enough. And I guess at the same point, it would be kind of a copy-paste, in a sense, of the AJ Styles match, where it would be this thin, fast guy moving around, doing all kinds of offense, and then just getting thrown around and eventually beaten. I think it would be very similar, outcome as the AJ Styles match. So maybe they would do a rematch at Royal Rumble. I don't know, but yeah, I don't.
Could Cena fight Brock at Rumble?
Maybe.
I mean, really, who else is there, right? You're not going to see Braun Strowman.
He'd have to lose, though, too. He'd have to lose, Cena.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Everyone's going to lose to Brock until WrestleMania. Yeah. Right? Everyone's going to lose until Roman kills him.
Oh, my God. I can't believe they're still, like... The thing is, and then the week after WrestleMania, we're going to know what the next WrestleMania is going to be, and we're going to be, like, leading into that for a whole year. And it's going to be Roman versus, like, Seth Rollins or something like that.
It's probably going to be something along the lines of that, yeah. I would assume, but... I mean, we'll talk about it later. I got some shit to say about Roman. So
all right, okay, let's cap it off with Team Raw. This is a match filled with elite superstars, tons of big names, and they all got buried. So again, folks, Samoa Joe going out with one FU. Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, both getting power slammed. And they were all quick. These are all quick successions. Randy Orton, who was built up to be like one of the top Survivor Series guys. He's survived so many times, so many eliminations. He just gets taken out too towards the end. Like, I don't know. I just felt like the whole match was built around Triple H and Braun Strowman. And yeah, Braun Strowman, they definitely protected him. Not just protected him, make him look like $1 million. Definitely did great wonders for him. Him looking at Triple H the way he did, and kind of playing that face line where he didn't like the way it went down. He's kind of like a face heel. It's really strange.
It's like he's full face, but he's just like a mean dude. You know what I mean? Yeah, but he's definitely playing the face role at this point.
But he'll also usually when he wrestles, he'll wrestle against good guys too. So it's kind of hard to really pinpoint where he's at. But I think people just love the destruction that he lays out. And I think it's also part of a bigger picture, Kurt Angle, Triple H, and, the way that went down, the whole screw job to Shane McMahon.
It didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense. It was confusing. The crowd was confused.
The crowd was confused. I was confused. I was sitting there going like, the fuck? And commentary went silent. And everything went silent.
And we watched this match that was being built up for weeks, and it was like, man, it's stacked. I love these teams. Some of the best Survivor Series combinations that I've seen. And then 1 week before Survivor Series, Triple H injects himself into the match and makes the whole thing about him, and he ends up at the end being like the focal point. And it's this thing that Triple H always does that's really irritating. He's got to throw himself in the middle. Like, do it in the mid-card or do something else. Like, I don't know why he still has to make it about him. And it's frustrating because it hurt Finn Balor, it hurt Samoa Joe, it hurt Bobby Roode, it hurt Nakamura, it hurt Randy Orton, who I don't normally even care about.
But it did do huge. It was huge for Braun.
Yeah, but what about John Cena? Oh my God, they made this big deal about bringing him back, and he barely played any role in the match at all, and then went out from an Olympic slam. Like, what the hell?
That was odd. I was reading today that Angle's hinting at a Cena Angle match because Angle took him out. But I mean, I'm okay with Triple H being in the match. I didn't like the ending.
I'm okay with him being in the match too. But when he throws himself in as a focal point, or he's got to be this, I don't know, like, it was heavily revolved around him and Braun Strowman, and like what's...
If I look at it from just that perspective of him putting Braun Strowman over, even though Braun Strowman's extremely over, but kind of like putting that final...
But he put himself over second, primarily. Like, I'm gonna put myself over. I'm gonna be this. I'm gonna do this stuff, and then Braun Strowman can come in and bit in my face and slam me. But
it wouldn't have worked though if it would have been anybody else in the match. It had to be a guy like Triple H. So I get that. Like, if any of the other guys in the match would have been at the end and screwed over their team, and then Braun Strowman said no to it, I don't think it would have held as... I don't know. I don't think it would have gone over the same way. But, I see the frustration, but it sucks that everybody else had to take it for Braun Strowman to get pushed again. But I think it was like the final push to him becoming fully face.
I guess. But Triple H and, Angle could have, argued back and forth in the ring and then start beating each other. And then, he pushed Angle and got rolled up. And then, I don't know if it needed to be the ending part of the match.
Yeah.
And then Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn coming out to take out Shane, and then it completely was pointless because it didn't even really work, and it just really seemed strange.
That was a mess.
Yeah,
that was a mess.
Like, why even have them, they should have caused Shane to be eliminated, or I don't know, they could, and then maybe,
or at least Randy.
And then Triple H hits Angle in the balls, pedigrees him, and then walks out or something like that, and then Team Raw loses, or I don't know, and then Angle gets fired, and then he's not a GM or whatever anymore. Now he's a wrestler, and it can change the perspective on it. But now he's still the GM, but now an angry one, and
I feel like confusing. It was very, very safe. Put it this way: Triple H put Braun over. He has a potential storyline with Kurt Angle, and he's got a potential storyline now with Shane McMahon. So there's three things that came from that happening. So I can see all of that. What pisses me off most about the match was Shinsuke Nakamura going out first. I find he was the highlight of the match in the ring.
Yeah, and so easily.
He was fun. Yeah, so easily. And he was just annihilating everybody. I didn't like the bury of him, the bury of Bobby Roode, even though I'm not a Bobby Roode fan. I just don't want to see young talent get killed like that. Finn Balor, Samoa Joe. I don't know. I guess they could have had larger roles before going out. Maybe.
Yeah, that's it. It just felt like, I don't know, them being... It's kind of like, you have these Survivor Series matches and there are lots of big names, but then there's a few fillers in there. There was Carlito or Epico or
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying.
They went out like these guys. And they were those guys of the team, So
exactly. That's frustrating. They shouldn't have used such big names in that match. They could have put a Jason Jordan in there and done that to him, you know what I mean? But even then, he's young talent. I don't know. They could have put fucking Matt Hardy in there on Raw and let him get fucking squished.
That's it. So, anyways, that's pretty much sums it up for Survivor Series. Again, it wasn't really too fantastic of a pay-per-view, and the main event itself was... it wasn't for me. I think a lot of people weren't too thrilled about it, especially Braun Strowman.
Right before we switch over... NXT eclipsed the shit out of Survivor Series. TakeOver was so good.
TakeOver was great. The one match I still haven't seen, which I hear is one of the best on the card, is Velveteen Dream and Alexander.
Oh my
Black.
God, that was match of the night, dude.
Yeah.
You didn't see that?
No.
Oh,
I saw a GIF though of Velveteen Dream hitting this move, like a springboard into the ring or something, into some kind of weird DDT thing, and it was like, holy crap.
It was vicious.
Yeah.
Look,
I'm not
I
super
didn't,
big on his character, but we'll see.
It worked, man. Like I didn't watch any of the lead up to this. I went into this NXT takeover completely blind. As the first time I've seen, I'm going to screw up his name because I was going to call him Drew Galloway. What's his name? Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre.
See, that's how much I haven't watched it. Drew McIntyre and that dude I've never seen before.
Dude, that match was great, eh?
Was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good. And if you haven't seen the Aleister Black Velveteen, it's even better than that.
Really, eh?
Yeah. It's just, even if you haven't watched NXT, from the moment they do their entrance and the first couple minutes of the match, you understand the whole story that happened.
Yeah,
and then when the match ends, you gotta watch it, man. Like, it was so well done, dude.
It's more, NXT is more about like wrestling matches, wrestling, and the story in the wrestling. And I find WWE is more the entertainment, like the storylines and the promos and all that stuff. It's and the wrestling matches themselves just don't have that same kind of quality. But it's a whole different thing. And like again, NXT, I really enjoy it. And I thought even the War Games match was super cool, man. I really enjoyed that too.
The War Games match was nuts. Like,
yeah,
it was insane.
It was insane. It was all over the place. I just like that Adam Cole won it because he was the biggest coward of the whole match. But I guess that's the point, right?
But it's Adam Cole, baby.
I'm not sold on him yet. So let's see.
No?
I don't think he's
like
terrible,
him.
but I don't like his hair too long. And
Those things don't bother me.
no, I just find it's too many people with long hair. It doesn't. I don't know. Like it should be. I don't know. Maybe cut a bit shorter, but. I don't know. I just don't know if I'm not buying into him yet, but we'll see. I hear good things about him. I know he's good, but I don't know enough about him, and I haven't watched enough on him. And during that match, everybody else was doing all kinds of crazy shit, and I don't know. He got like suplexed off the top of the cage onto people, right? I get it, but then he kicked out like after, and that's the thing. They should have just not pinned him because like it made it look a stupid spot because. Well, it was awesome. He suplexed him off the top through people, but
he's
then
a tough guy.
Right away they pin him and he kicks out. It's like, dude, I'm sorry. Like, what do you got to do? Like, shoot this guy to stop him? And then he runs away, and then he gets the pin. But
I didn't let the small details of it bother me. I thought, as a whole, I was so entertained for 2 hours, man. Honestly, I was like, I'm upset that right now we're missing NXT because I don't have PVR, and I'm literally missing it now. And I'm 100% sold on that program. And it was really, really hard to watch. Everything about, even the production of NXT just felt better than the production of Survivor Series. It just did.
It's also a smaller arena, smaller venue, so it's like loud. It's a lot louder. Crazy. Yeah, but it's a smaller venue too, right? So
yeah,
it's a lot. It's more.
You would think it would be
more personal though, more intimate.
It was more intimate. It's more personal. I like the black ring.
Mm-hmm.
I like the darker setting. It just provides. Everything looks more violent. Everything on main roster looks so watered down.
Yeah.
Like I can see Vince or I can see whoever's in charge going like, oh, you better not go too hard because don't forget tomorrow you're in Hartford and the day after that you're in Boston and the day after that you're here and the day after that you're here and that's all that matters. Whereas NXT, it's like, well, if you break your arm or you tear your bicep, it's not as big of a deal. These guys aren't touring like crazy. They go hard, man.
It's also like in the WWE, the main roster, it's kind of like, here's a list of moves you can't do, and it's like pages and pages and pages and pages long. Yeah. And NXT, it's like, do whatever you want. Yeah. You know, and it's like, and they can do
it. That's Triple H, baby.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I guess to a degree, but he also was on Raw, and like, couldn't he influence to some degree? Like, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I
feel like it's his training.
NXT is great, you know, and all around. Yeah, I love NXT. So I'm glad you're on board now.
Oh, dude. I was like really reluctant too because I watched NXT when like Finn Balor was there.
There were still some great matches.
Samoa Joe, Sasha Banks and all that. And then I thought like, ooh, how are they going to survive once those guys are gone? But holy shit.
Well, they're scouting the world, man. They're going to like New Japan and like Ring of Honor, and like they're getting all the good people to come over now. So
the talent is high. The talent is high.
Absolutely. So it's also like, what do you do with all these people? And once you bring people up, like what's going to happen to the people? Like it's it's gonna be good for the brand, but also like some of the talent. You know, like when we had the new call-ups for NXT, the women, I'm sure Sasha Banks was like, oh great, you know, like now where am I gonna fit in this whole thing? You know, so.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have we're not gonna disagree. We might disagree. We're gonna have different opinions.
We will.
On what we're gonna talk about next. I think so. Like you said, we saw the return of Paige, which was pretty huge, and of course the 2 NXT call-ups on Raw. I guess we'll start off with those before we go into the other 3 over on SmackDown. But
all right, so here's what grinds my gears.
Here we go.
Yeah, I was very not happy about the way this was done. Again, I'm not a big. I was kind of cool. Yeah, Paige coming back, I'm all right with that. She was cool, you know, good for her. She's getting her head straight. But then when I heard she's coming on to Raw, kind of soured it a bit for me. Also made me a bit worried what they're going to be doing because I don't want anybody fucking with Asuka. And if they decide to make Paige be the one to be that one, it would upset me because people have been working hard for. And that's another thing too. You know, Paige comes in. You're going to make her the focal point for the next couple months at the very least. And meanwhile, you've had Sasha, you've had Bayley, you've had all these women working really hard to make it the division what it is. And then we don't know if they're going to be buried, but right now it looks like the spotlight's going to be put on them. There's only so much time per episode of Raw that they can put people in. Now they've doubled the amount of women in general. If you look Raw and Smack, not double, but they've added a significant amount. And they're already having trouble enough finding room for all these people. So it just makes me worried what they're going to do. Now, you know, they put talent on Raw and SmackDown. There's a lot more women coming in. I don't know if it's even going to end this week. Rumor now is that they're moving towards doing a Women's Royal Rumble at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And the winner will go on to WrestleMania. So, hey, man, that makes it a little bit more less painful for me if this is their plans. I'm down for a Women's Royal Rumble. I think it'd be a great idea, very, very innovative. I assume Asuka would win it and then go on to WrestleMania. I really hope so. And hey, you know, in hindsight, if Paige wins the title off of Alexa Bliss because they did attack her, it looks like it could go in that direction. You know, it's kind of shitty that, you know, somebody could act as poorly as she did, get into trouble, you know, with Alberto, all the cocaine stories, all that stuff, how he filed the championship, all that stuff, and then she comes back and they give her the title. It's kind of like, whoa, come on, like, you know, you gotta make your. It seems like she's still a brat. It seems like she's not necessarily learned her lesson, but she can also play the character very well, and.
She's kind of a piece of shit.
She kind of is. And you want to see, like,
in real life, she's a piece of shit.
She looked gross. I don't know. I was like,
yeah.
Her hair was kind of shaved in the side a little bit. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not going to knock her wrestling ability. She's a good wrestler and she's entertaining. And, you know, I love that this is my house. And I'm down to have her back. I'm just worried about the other talent who's really been mature and working hard. And, you know, I feel eventually, you know, maybe Paige is going to, you know, fail the wellness policy or something's going to happen again or who knows. But I just didn't like the way it was done, more or less. Like, they teased it when Alexa Bliss is like, no one can, you know, can beat me. And people thought she was going to come out then, and she didn't. So then you had, like, everybody come out and do their typical spiel.
I like that.
But everybody did their typical spiel of, like, you know, why you want to fight me, you want to fight me, and it just wasn't believable. And then
because it's stale. The division is stale.
I guess so, yeah, it is. But to have her come out, like, mid-match was a bit confusing. And then the crowd initially popped really loud to the music, right? And I see people all over social media saying, oh my God, she got such a big crowd reaction. I haven't heard theme music did, but I think once she came out, the crowd really was like, Like, they weren't cheering as loudly as they were until she's just like, come on, get loud. And then they get loud because the crowd likes cheering when they're told to. But outside of that, I don't think she got the reaction, at least that I was expecting her to get. And then when she's like, I'm not alone, like, it was very confusing. People didn't know what was going on. And then we see the debut of
Mandy Rose and the other girl.
And Deville, Sonya Deville, and Mandy Rose. Again, Mandy Rose, I don't know too much about her. She hasn't been really part of NXT too much. But apparently WWE's kind of always had plans to move her up rather quickly. Apparently she's good in the ring, so I'll give her a chance. I haven't watched her wrestle. But I'm not big on. It's going to sound really sexist. Not sexist of me because I don't like it, but I mean, it's not. It's going to be. I don't like the bleach blonde Barbie girls, and I find there's too many of them coming in. And, you know, you had Maurice, Carmella. We have Liv Tyler. Now we have the Rose Girl. We've had
there
so
are
many.
less blondes than there are brunettes. For the record.
But I find they look more different because they got brown hair. They have different facial features. I find like this whole like Barbie doll look, like it's clear, like, you know, like they have like a flawless face. They have the breast implants. They have the hair. But I mean, you look at brunettes, right? Like you look at, okay, fair enough. You have Bailey, but Bailey has a distinctive face. Mickey James has a distinctive face. You know, like, I don't know. It just, I mix them up. It's hard to keep track of them. It's not a very unique look for me. I don't like the bleach blondes, but that's just me. And I don't know, Liv Tyler, I'm not at all in. I've seen her, and I don't buy into her at all. I don't like her at all. I don't think she's anything great. And I'm, you know, maybe Mandy Rose is, so I'm going to give her a chance. I hear good things about her. But the other girl, DeVille, has no personality or charisma whatsoever. She looked very awkward. I don't even know why she's there, especially over Shayna Baszler or whatever her name was that was in the finals of the Mae Young Classic. I would put her there first. But anyways, if it's just for the Royal Rumble, that's fine. I don't know if they're going to be up long term. The Sarah Logan too, like, not that she's bad, but I'm just, what are they going to do with all these girls? Especially on SmackDown, they have no time for during their segments. So I don't know. I didn't like the way it was done. I thought they could have taken advantage of it a lot better than the way they did, and that's on both sides. On SmackDown, you have Ruby Riott just casually walking up to Naomi. Hey, what's up? Oh, hey, Ruby Riott, what are you doing here? Oh, nothing. It's like, really? That's how you bring them in? Like, I don't know. It was really lame if you ask me, the way they brought those ones in. Could have done so much better. They really missed the boat, in my opinion, on their return. The only one that I really was like, okay, she's a good wrestler, is Ruby Riott. I mean, I've seen her. I think she could be on the main roster. Her mic skills aren't the best, but I guess they'll improve because Carmella's were trash, and she's a lot better now too. But I don't know. I think it could have done a lot better. I guess in general, that's my main thing, you know. And I just hope that this is like, I just feel bad if all the other women who've been there for a while working hard are all now going to be just sacked completely and be thrown away because of these new people that are coming in. Like, they don't have time for this. They don't have enough space and enough roster room for all these women.
Well, I see it totally differently. For me, it's more, I think they're going to make more time for them. There's more of them now. There's been rumors of, you know, tag team division.
Yes,
like you said,
that I'd be
Rumble.
good with. That I'd be good with the tag team division. I'd be okay with that.
I thought the return of Paige was good. I liked how she came in mid-match. I liked how, you know, I was on Twitter when it was happening and everybody was like, fuck, you know, no Paige again. And then, so it was unpredictable that she came in the middle.
I like that it was unpredictable, but it would have been cool if it was like some other way. Or if she came with like the iconic duo, it would have worked. Her and the iconic duo would have definitely worked. Or her and Nikki Cross, you know, with the mask, that could have worked or something. But
I could see Nikki Cross. The thing with iconic duo is I think that the crowd really wants them to come up, and I kind of like how you know which guys from NXT are coming up. Like, you can see it. So it was nice to see other people kind of, it was a little bit more done in secret. What I was reading was that they were putting these girls on house shows and training them through that way and kind of keeping them off NXT TV and kind of having them leapfrog, some of them at least. So it was cool because some of the fans didn't know who they were. So it had that like mysterious mystique to it, which I liked because I didn't know who the MMA girl was. I knew who Mandy Rose was. I knew who Liv Morgan was. I knew who
Liv Morgan.
Riott
I
was.
call her Liv Tyler. I don't know why.
Oh yeah. And I didn't know the other ones, so it was kind of cool. What I don't like about it is that they did it on both shows. It was kind of like, unless they're gonna tie the two
did you
factions
notice? Do you see
together,
the images like side by side? They look almost exactly the same. Ruby Riott's in the middle, Paige is in the middle, the girl with the dark hair, then one with the blonde and with the brown. It's like it looked very, very similar.
So I don't know if it's a build up to Rumble and the six of them are gonna stick together in Rumble, or they're gonna go at each other Rumble. I don't know.
Or there could be more next week. Who knows? If they're gonna do a Royal Rumble, they're gonna need more. Well, it depends how many they put, but they're gonna need more women.
Well, the thing about Royal Rumble is that it would be cool if Royal Rumble was an opportunity. Like, you see it with the men, right? There's guys from NXT that come up, they come into the Rumble, and they're not on the main roster. So it would be cool if, you know, they just had NXT women in the match that weren't necessarily on the main card. I would think that these 5 girls are going to stick around. I think it's going to be more faction. I don't think they're going to have a dominant role. I think it's really going to be Paige and probably Ruby Riott that are going to be the 2 leaders of the 2, and on their respective shows. I don't think it's going to take away any time from any of the other ones. Still think that, the division was friggin' stale, man. Like every week it was all about the women's title. It was all like, I want my chance and I want my chance. No, I deserve it. No, I deserve it. It was like, let's get some other storylines in there. And I think adding people to the mix is going to naturally do that a bit. I don't know. I liked it. I'm cool with the blondes because I love blondes. But I don't know. I thought it was probably the best part of Raw for me, at least. It was something different. Put it that way. And I thought she got a pretty good response. I didn't realize it was her music at first. Like that little sound at the beginning, I was like,
yeah.
I knew it was going to be Paige, but I didn't remember her music as well. But once she popped out, it seemed like people got pretty loud. But I think she stumbled around a little bit. I think she was like, it was probably a lot for her to take in.
Some goochies.
She's like, yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I enjoyed it. Again, it's weird that they did it on both shows in the same week.
And also the way they did Ruby Riott.
SmackDown one was bad.
It was just like walking up backstage, like what?
They should have just done I missed that. Okay, so because I was watching it on catch up, so I missed that section of SmackDown. The first time I saw them come out was when they came out during the Charlotte and Natty rematch. So I was like, oh, fuck. It's like another kind of like hostile takeover type thing.
Well, I thought there'd be a cash in there, too. I thought that would be like Carmella.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
That would have been such a good opportunity for do a cash in. That's true. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But people were saying like, oh, why would that make sense? Because why would Carmella come down just to get beat up? And it's like, well, who knows that would have happened. Maybe Carmella would have been with them. Maybe she could have waited till they walked to the ramp or something.
Exactly. They could have left and she could have came down, and picked up the bones. Yeah, totally. I have a feeling... I really, when they saw Alexa Bliss backstage, I was really hoping Alexa and the 3 of them were going to be together. It was really
yeah. But I guess Paige is gonna go for her title, and maybe Alexa's gonna take a bit of a face turn. I mean, who knows? But But that's the thing. Like in hindsight, if Paige wins the title and then ends up being beaten by Asuka at WrestleMania, I'll be happy. So
you got to think it's Paige Asuka. You got to think it's that.
Paige, and I would assume Asuka's going to win the title finally at WrestleMania, and then roll with it probably until the next year's WrestleMania. That's my guess.
I feel like Asuka's Triple H's girl and Paige is Vince McMahon's girl. So we'll see.
You think Paige is Vince McMahon's girl? Like, if I was Vince McMahon and I saw that Paige had guys ejaculating on my title, I would I can't believe he even lets her back in the.
Well, think about it. He did a movie about her, and
I think that's why she's back,
despite all of this.
Because he invested so much into her. That's probably why.
But he loved her, right? To invest all that money into her, he gave her the Divas title as soon as she walked in.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, the guy was high on her, and then to bring her back after all this, and he seems like he fucking hates Del Rio. You know what I mean? So anyways.
I bet you she'll do something stupid again too, because she's young.
For sure, she's young and she's really, really bratty. I watch her on Total Divas. I know it's not real life, but I think it's more of a glimpse into real life than Raw is, and you can see on Raw that she's a brat. So put it that way.
Fair enough. One person who is, and I'll probably not get an agreement from lots of people saying this, but I don't like Jason Jordan, but I find he's actually getting better on the mic. And
he's fucking getting way better on the mic.
Yeah,
I'll agree with you.
Yeah, I listened to him this week, and I'm just like, you know what? Like, actually, he actually is getting a lot better on the mic, and he's definitely going towards a heel turn because now he's getting whiny and annoying to the point where it's just like, yeah, he's definitely going towards a heel turn at some point.
It was hilarious when he kind of whispered like, "I'm injured." Yeah, I was like, "Oh, that's so good."
Yeah. And he's like, "You can have this. Are you actually gonna have this match?" It's like, oh yeah. No, yeah.
But Dad, I'm injured. I don't know. The WWE universe is it's tough, man. They're so inconsistent. They're saying Jason Jordan's being stuffed down our throats, but like the guy gets squashed every match, so he's just like on the show and people are pissed he's on the show. It's weird.
Yeah, no, I agree. Outside of that, we saw a big IC title match, The Miz versus Roman Reigns.
Yeah, interesting, man.
Yeah, interesting enough. It was okay match, and so the thing is like, Miz dropped the title. He's gonna go film the Marine 11 or whatever it's called, whatever one it is.
250.
Yeah, and I mean, Miz had the title for a long time. Roman Reigns is gonna hold it now probably for a while as well, which is kind of like, he doesn't need the title to be relevant and to do things. He can have the feud, so it'd be cool to kind of give the IC title maybe to somebody else. Like I said, Matt Hardy, have him run with it. Or, I can't really think off the top of my head, but there's definitely people on Raw who could roll with it. Balor or...
TJ Perkins.
Here's the thing. I don't want TJ Perkins to win the IC title, but I'd be super down for him to come out, challenge The Miz, and have a really cool match, exciting match where you think he's almost going to win and then get beaten by The Miz. Because I think he could actually put on an exciting match with The Miz.
But he doesn't have to fight The Miz anymore. He's got to fight Roman Reigns.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't even be interesting anymore. It'd be just But yeah, because like you could kind of get behind it and be like, oh my God, Miz, he's a bum. He's actually getting the better of The Miz, and you could kind of see it happening, and then The Miz like kind of does some dirty shit and beats him at the end, and you're like, too bad, But
I would have liked Neville to come back and
yeah, Neville would be great too. Some people have a rumor going around that KO and Zayn are going to align themselves with Neville.
Yes, this would be fantastic. But before we get to Sami and Kevin and maybe Neville, what were we just talking about?
The IC title.
IC title, sorry, yeah, dude. I don't know what happened to me, but when Roman Reigns won that, he won my heart over.
Oh my God! I wouldn't say he hasn't like. I'm not upset with it. I think it's okay. He's got the IC title.
I think it's good.
It's all right. It's all right by me. There'll be some good cool matches. I mean, he'll maybe go and do an IC title open challenge or whatever. I'm fine with it, but he hasn't won me. I'm not like a Roman Reigns fan.
No, I just mean that so Survivor Series, right? Match opener. The Shield was match opener. Roman didn't have a huge part of the match. It wasn't all about Roman. Dean got the pin at the end. The powerbomb off the top was Roman, but that's just the way the move goes. But it was just kind of like it was over and done with once that match was done. Like we didn't think that you were gonna hear Danner, like the entire night, Mm-hmm. So it was, and then on Raw he came in, and now he's, in the IC title picture. So he's kind of taken a step out of that main event level, even though we know what's coming at WrestleMania. So it's just nice to see him not have to deliver on a main event level. He delivers so well a little bit lower than that. So it's like a guy in the NHL who comes in before he should play. He should be in the AHL, but they bring him up early because he's good. He's a big talent, and then he never develops properly. That's how I'm looking at it.
Just wondering if it's also like an excuse of like, oh, Miz is leaving, so he has to drop the title. Oh, let's give it to Roman. It'll make him Grand Slam champion, so he can suck his dick.
I'm okay with that. Dude, Dean Ambrose is a goddamn Grand Slam champion.
Yeah.
That's more sickening than Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw the meme, but they're hugging after.
Yeah, that's Seth Rollins is looking over it.
And you see Seth Rollins' face.
Yeah.
And he's the only one who's not a fucking Grand Slam. Yeah.
Seth Rollins should be the champion, a heel champion. Like I don't know, man. If he wouldn't, how awesome! Like honestly, I haven't that much fun with a heel champ or just it was amazing. Heel champion
so
Seth Rollins was the shit, man. He was coward
so good.
And like
with the J&J security.
Yeah, it was great, man.
Yeah.
It was great. And why did they no? They don't.
The only reason why that title run wasn't as epic as it could have been was because all he was doing was fighting Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns over and over and over, and that got a bit annoying. But yeah, I mean, he was.
I love his mic work when he's a bad guy. I love it.
Did we ever get to see AJ versus Seth?
I don't think we've seen that one yet. No.
Okay, that's a dream for me, man. That's going to be a big one. But no, really, honestly, Roman Reigns with the IC title, I like it. I think the pressure's off of him a bit, and I think this allows the Shield to kind of have more of a storyline because I guess they're going to go after the tag team champions, and it would be cool to see all three of them carrying. And the longer they stay together, the better the breakup's going to be. So
right, we saw Dean Ambrose versus Sheamus right this week.
Yeah,
so I'm assuming next week. I'm assuming next week it'll be Rollins versus Cesaro.
And they've done this.
I know, yeah. And then Cesaro might get the win next week, so they'll be trading, or something like that.
Oh, speaking of this. Did you notice on SmackDown the New Day talking about the Shield and how the the New Day would never break up.
Yeah, they've done that. They've been doing that a little bit now.
Yeah. I told you, man, at that cage match when they had the Uso in the corner with the kendo sticks,
yeah.
and Kofi was outside. I swear to God, man, he like shared a look, and I was like, Kofi's gonna turn on them.
You're reading too much into it, man. There.
Back
then, you're reading too much.
Dude, that was like 2 months ago, and I'm telling you, I felt like it was undertones.
Obviously, it's gonna have to happen at some point.
Yeah.
Just like them getting back together at some point, you know.
Yeah, they need it. They definitely need it. I hope it's Kofi that turns. It's the only one that makes sense. Big E turning won't make sense.
Well, it's funny. They ended up saying at one time, I don't know the exact number, but it's like, New Day, together we've collectively held like 38 championships or something. And it's like, Kofi's been like 90% of them. And you're like, you know what? Actually, Kofi's had so many titles. It's ridiculous. Like,
I could see Big E single. I could see Kofi single. Xavier Woods, unfortunately,
when he
unless he goes 205
he picked up the Shield into for the big ending on both shoulders, eh?
Yeah, that was impressive.
Yeah,
I thought Kofi
cool.
was gonna get on top.
Yeah,
that would have been sick.
Yeah.
I thought it would be like an ode to Mario Odyssey with the mushrooms. Up, up, down, down.
Oh, right.
You know? It would have been cool. He was like, I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, I'm happy to see Roman do it, and it was a good end to Raw for me.
Cool. Yeah, I guess good for you. I mean, I didn't enjoy really either show. You jump over to SmackDown, a few letdowns for me. We saw the debut of the Bludgeon Brothers. So now, officially, it's no longer Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. It's Harper and Rowan. No more first names. So again, Vince McMahon cutting out the first names. I get Rowan, but like Luke Harper it's a good name. So just Harper. I mean, I get it. They called that anyways. But like, why don't you just have Luke Harper and just always call him Harper? Just keep Luke Harper. Like, I don't know. Like, so.
How about not having the Bludgeon Brothers?
Yeah.
And not having Eric Rowan in the WWE?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. The whole reason why Luke Harper's in this situation is because they don't know what to do with Eric Rowan.
It's a shame because Luke Harper's just getting in better and better shape. Mm-hmm. His beard's getting more and more epic. And I can't wait to the day he leaves for a little bit and comes back with a short mutton fucking handlebars like he used to. And just fight. I'm so sick of seeing him in tag teams.
I hope so. Man. He's 37, right? So like,
is he?
Yeah, he's not in his prime.
We're never gonna see it.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen with those Bludgeon Brothers. They didn't even use the hammers or nothing. Like their finishing move was like super weak Razor's Edge. They like was a really.
It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, but the one thing that I noticed on Twitter was Bray Wyatt. I don't know if you saw that. He tweeted "Come home" ... right after their match. So maybe that's kind of like a doorway for WWE to be like, you know, screw this gimmick. Let's put them back with the Harp or the what? Dude, they just need to be the Y family, man. And then you can. They
just need to. The Wyatt family has to not exist anymore.
Really?
Luke Harper needs to be single. Eric Rowan needs to leave.
Yeah. Okay. I'm okay with that too.
If they're the Wyatt family, then they need to go into a program against Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman is face, and Bray against Braun. And that's all I could see working. And poor Luke Harper is going to take a secondary position.
Yeah, sucks. I guess that's why I want to see Luke go on his own. But like he was super over with the crowd too, so I don't.
They loved him.
Yeah, I don't know. They're really missing an opportunity with that.
Have you been enjoying watching Sami Zayn walk out to Kevin Owens' music? Has it not been like one of the greatest things?
I love when Kofi Kingston makes fun of him when they beat him. Was it like this week? They did the midnight hour or whatever. Anyways, and then Kofi's like standing over and doing his little dance.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, I didn't like Sami Zayn's
heel
interpretation of being a heel at first.
It's all right. He's all right.
And now I feel like he
should have been a heel almost before. You know, it's almost like
but I just feel like the way that he's playing the heel is like I've never seen somebody do that. He's almost still a good guy, just with a little bit more arrogance. Mm-hmm. And he needs to draw it back just slightly because he's kind of overacting a bit when he's not talking with his facial stuff. He can kind of tone it down a bit because I don't want to get him on like that Dean Ambrose fucking crazy Dino kind of spiel. But dude, the way that he's still being a really nice guy but kind of being condescending, it's really working. Yeah, like he's not being a heel 101, and I like it. It's refreshing.
Yeah, the only thing that's kind of interesting is like, you know, he totally forgets all the bad things Kevin did to him. But,
I'm okay with that. I mean, he left him this week, right?
Yeah, he left him this week. And then I don't understand that. It confused me because, like, Shane expected him to fire them, but then, like, he didn't because you can tell something's going up with Daniel Bryan. Something's kind of going on between Daniel Bryan and Shane, too. I know Daniel Bryan's also really aggressively trying to get cleared to wrestle now, too, so who knows?
He's gonna do a heel turn soon, I think.
Yeah, but what's going to happen? He can't wrestle, or at least as far as we know for now. Maybe he can do a light match with Shane. Like, I don't know. But I also don't understand because, like, at the end of the Raw, he's like, oh no, I'm not going to fire you. Instead, I'm going to put you against a match with Randy Orton. And
God, that was horrible.
And Kevin Owens was like, okay, I changed my mind. And kind of like walks away, like, wait, what? Who gets what out of that? Why? Why?
I don't know.
What does it mean? I mean, like, what is this match with Randy Orton? What's the stakes for it? Like, why was Kevin Owens not upset about it? Why?
I read this thing online. I forget where I read it. It was a guy explaining the way that they use some of these key guys that have been around for a really long time and how they keep their longevity. And it was something along the lines of, like, Randy Orton's the kind of guy where they use him to bring back somebody that they've slightly buried. I don't think it works. I think it's like an old school tactic. But, like, what they'll do is they'll make Randy win a championship every so often, so Randy is always like a powerhouse. Then they'll get a guy like Kevin Owens and they'll bury him slightly, and then they'll have him face Randy Orton, and either have a program with him or he'll beat Randy Orton or even lose to Randy Orton, but he's just in a Randy Orton match, so it brings him back up. That's the theory behind these guys. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's weird. I don't see how it works, but if you look at the trends, it's kind of what they do. But I would like to see them get fired, but not fired. I want to see somehow if Daniel Bryan can make an agreement, like behind closed doors, like secretly with Stephanie McMahon to bring Kevin Owens and Sami to Raw to screw over Shane in some way. And that would be like Daniel Bryan's heel turn sort of thing.
Because, yeah, they talked about this whole Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn going to, or at least Kevin Owens going to Raw a month or so ago, because on tour he was advertised being the Raw show. So I don't know if they scrapped that because he didn't end up being on the Raw tour, but I don't know. She also at the pay-per-view, they showed Kevin and Sami talking to Stephanie, and they were talking about, like, I can't remember the exact details, but it was insinuating that, like, you know, the Raw would be happy to have them kind of deal.
Yeah.
So I don't know what would happen, and then who would go in their place, and it would have to be two, you know, pretty, you know, reputable people to replace them as well. So,
KO's merch changed too. His KO is red now. It used to be blue. I don't know if that's
but
sort of
undertone. Even you look at AJ Styles. He used to wear red when he was on SmackDown. So you know, he came out with new red merchandise and wore red every week. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so we'll see.
He looked like a crab.
Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, I would love to see Kevin Owens back on Raw. I think, like, his music coming out on Raw was something I always look forward to on Monday nights. And it really depends on who ends up going to SmackDown in his place. But, you know, that's all logistics that can be figured out. Maybe Finn Balor, maybe it'd be better for Balor to be on SmackDown. Who knows?
Oh, it probably would be, actually. Hey, but I've been enjoying Sami and Kevin. I didn't think I would. They don't really have a place. And
that's it. Good. I'm confused. Like, they weren't on the Survivor Series card, really. Like, but then also they're on the main event getting their butts kicked. And
well, the entire SmackDown was about them, right? They were the ongoing storyline of the night. So.
I guess, yeah. And you have your Lumberjacks, and I always find it so funny. Lumberjacks really shows you who's employed by the WWE, because you have all these guys who never have any matches or any on-screen time, like, you know, the Ascension or Mike Kanellis or the Colognes, or, you know, like, it's just, yeah.
How sick would it be if Aiden, Rusev, Sami, and Kevin had a little thing going on?
I think that's what they might be going towards, in a sense. I think they're going to kind of be working together, more or less, I think, or at least have each other's back, or I'm not sure. It seemed like there was something going on, at least. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong here, but maybe it's because it's leading up to Rumble, and this is going to be the theme of Rumble, but it seems like they're really getting faction-y. Yeah, I'm seeing a little bit of that too. I'd like to see some more faction going on, I think it's a little too early to start thinking they're driving for the Royal Rumble, except for the women's, because they gotta inject the roster and establish some of these women. I get it, but for the guys, I think
because it's Clash of Champions next for SmackDown, right?
Right, and that's not till late December.
And that's pretty much another fluffy fucking pay-per-view, because really it's just the spiel is that every champion fights. So it's like they're just all gonna have stupid challengers.
Yeah, they're also doing Starrcade. You know that?
Yeah, but I think it's a house show.
Yeah, it's this Saturday or something. It's the 25th. Yeah, on Saturday.
Is it? Yeah, I'm sure something big's gonna happen because I know Flair's involved and Starrcade was Ric Flair's thing, right?
Yeah. So we'll end up seeing, but I don't think much will come out of it. But then after that it's Clash of Champions. Then we're going into Royal Rumble, which is really
what's the
exciting.
Raw after? What's after Clash for Raw?
I think it's
Is it like
Royal Rumble.
Payback or?
Isn't it Royal Rumble after Clash?
No, there's got to be 2 in between. Royal Rumble's not till
Mid to end of
January.
Yeah, but the next pay-per-view isn't it 1 per month? Oh yeah, you're right.
No, they do like. Oh, is it 2 per month? I don't know. We got to look at that. Hey, Money in the Bank's going to be split next year, eh?
Yeah, I read about
That's
that today.
interesting,
That's
yeah.
pretty interesting.
I wonder if it's like they'll put 3 and 3, and whoever gets it, or if they're gonna. I kind of don't want them to have 4 Money in the Bank matches. It's kind of a lot, no?
I don't think it'd be 4. I think it'd be 1.
Well, women's, men's.
Yeah, then it would probably be.
I'd rather them just have
women's.
2 and then 3 from Raw, 3 from SmackDown, 3 from Raw, 3 for SmackDown. 6v6. Or 3v3.
Yeah,
whatever.
no. Now that you say that, I think that might be the case.
Hmm.
So I'm looking at the pay-per-views that are upcoming, and it seems like, in fact, it is Clash of Champions December 17th, and then the next one is the Royal Rumble.
Holy shit! So there's no Raw pay-per-view.
It seems like, and then a month later, so it's gonna be.
Okay, so we're gonna see some Royal Rumble stuff on Raw then, coming up. They're gonna be building towards it.
You think so already?
That's cool. Are they gonna have to? That's quick actually, because Christmas no one's watching, right? So they're not gonna have that much storyline going there. It's going to be interesting. I feel like it's going to get more interesting again because Rumble's awesome. It's Road to WrestleMania. Speaking of WrestleMania, that's going to be our 1-year anniversary over here at Talkamania. That's going to be pretty cool.
Really?
We got to do something for that.
Hey, I'm looking at some fun facts. Most pay-per-view matches by wrestlers. And it's funny. Do you know who's done the most pay-per-views?
Kane and Undertaker.
You got it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Mine too.
No.
Kane and Undertaker. Yeah.
Yeah, Corey mentioned it on Raw the other day because I think third place was like, who was it? It was somebody on Team SmackDown, I think.
It's Triple H.
Oh, Triple H. That's why I knew it was a Survivor Series match.
Then
and
John
Corey Graves
Cena.
mentioned it.
Then
John
Randy
Cena.
Orton. Big Show.
Okay. Oh, there you go.
Chris Jericho. Edge.
It surprised me when I heard Kane. I thought Undertaker for sure, but then Kane, I was like, really?
Wow,
Good for him, man.
Shawn Michaels is 9th, even though he hasn't been on pay-per-view in years.
Really, eh? Where's Bret Hart on that list?
Oh,
Probably pretty low.
No. So, man, Christian is 10th. That's funny.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Weird, eh? It's weird that the names that get on those, but it is what it is. It is what it is, my friends. So what else you got, brah?
I think that goes over all my talking points. Do you have anything else that you wanted to go over this week, or anything else that I might
No,
have skipped
I made a list because I knew you were going to mention there was a lot of blondes, so I'll give you my list of all the hair colors in the WWE currently fighting.
No. It's not that. It's just that, like, I find when you have, like, you have all these models and they're blonde. Basically, it's like a Barbie doll model kind of.
I get what you
look.
mean about them looking the same. That doesn't happen to me for blondes, but it happens to me for like Victoria, Melina. Like if you're brown with like a little bit of
one
a
is like
Latin look,
Latino, one is not. I mean,
I find they all look Latino to me. Who's the other one? She was Canadian with the huge boobs. She showed her butt. She had a daughter. She's off now. She got released.
Terry Reynolds or
no, black hair. Looks like Melina or Victoria. I'm not sure. They're all the same to me.
She showed her butt?
She showed her butt. Yeah, she was on Total Divas. Her butt got pulled out.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's M. Mendez, Rosa Mendez. Yeah.
Oh, she's trashy. Yeah.
They're all the same to me. Those people. So I get what you mean about the blondes. Like,
I just find it's like I want to be a wrestler. It's my look: bleach blonde, big boobies, and like I don't know. It's just like. I don't know.
It's ditzy.
Like
I get it. Yeah.
I don't like it, and I find Liv Tyler or Liv Morgan. I see. I don't think she's got a good look at all. I think she looks like a poser to me.
Yeah.
She looks like she's trying too hard.
Yeah, she does.
And I know the NXT crowd liked her, so we'll see. But I mean, Mandy Rose. At least I hear good things about her wrestling.
Yeah, I'm really excited about Mandy.
And she's an athlete, so that's cool. And then, DeVille, cool, but she needs to work on getting some charisma. But, you know, we went over this already, but we'll see. I'm going to give them the chance. You know, I didn't like Nia Jax. She grew on me. And now Carmella, you know, it's funny. I hated Carmella for so long, but, you know, after these 3 girls came out, I was like, you know what? Have Carmella cash in and win the title. I'd be down for Carmella. And she's growing on me a little bit now, too. So we'll see. You know, a bit salty about the debuts and injecting too much women so it'll overshadow some of the other hardworking women. But, you know, it is what it is. We'll see. It's an ever-evolving you know, company and women's division, so I'm along for the ride. Let's see what happens. Royal Rumble, Women's Royal Rumble, I'm down with it. Tag team division, I'm down with it. Let's see. Maybe they'll get their own show. Who knows?
Before we wrap it up, 7 blondes, 9 brunettes, excluding the Bellas, 1 Becky Lynch, 1 Sasha Banks, 1 Asuka.
Sasha Banks, I would say, is a brunette.
But she got purple hair, so
she's a brunette.
I put her down as her own.
And where are you're doing NXT too and everything?
Nope, didn't put NXT in there.
Right.
Main roster only. Currently fighting on the main roster.
Well, we'll wait and we'll see.
Let's do it. So that wraps up another week for Talkamania, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Follow us on Twitter @_Talkamania. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe. We need subscribers. And check out our new website, www.talkamania.com. Reach out to us on Twitter. We're looking for writers. We're looking for people to join us on the podcast. And looking for content. We're looking for content. Tune in with us next week. And until then, we'll see you on the Twitter sphere.
Happy Rusev Day!
Happy Rusev.